and welcome. Tonight, 50 of over 300 abducted St. Mary's Catholic School children in Niger State escaped captivity reunite with their families. 38 abducted Parachurch worshippers regain freedom. State government provides medical care and support following their release. The following rise in abductions and security threats, President Bola Tinubu orders immediate withdrawal of police officers assigned to VIP protection nationwide. And U.S. and Ukrainian officials report a productive meeting as peace deal negotiations advance. We begin tonight with some encouraging news, a development tempered by both relief and renewed hope. The Christian Association of Nigeria in Niger State has confirmed that 50 students abducted from St. Mary's private Catholic primary and secondary schools in Papari, Agwara local government area have successfully escaped from captivity. According to CAN, the children regained their freedom between Friday and Saturday and quietly reunited with their families without drawing public attention. We spoke with the chairman of the Christian Association of Nigeria Niger State chapter, Mr. Dan Tori, who walked us through the latest developments surrounding the escape and the recovery of the 50 students.
We had 303 pupils and students and 12 members of staff that were abducted. And between Friday, Saturday, and the wee hours of today, Sunday, by the grace of God, we had 50 of these pupils escaped from their abductors. And suffice to say that some of them that got back to their parents, they were, seen in the farm. Some farmers saw them who helped them back to their families. And I can tell you that the 50 pupils that returned, they gave us some sigh of relief, and we are praying and hoping that this same miracle that happened, God will touch the hearts of the abductors, so that we can have every other abducted persons released between now and the shortest time. Apart from the 50 persons, pupils who have returned, we still have 265. 265. We have 236 pupils, 14 students, those in the secondary, there are 14. And then we also have 3 children that belong to the staff who work in the school. So the pupils, that we categorize them as 239. So if you add up 239 and 14, and 12 staff, that will give you 265. So this is the number that we have still in captivity. I would say that there's a robust cooperation between the school, the diocese, and the government, and of course security agencies. We just hope that we all be on the same page, because with all that is flying about, we sometimes it baffles. But we are not security agency. So we just hope that they will do their job. We're not going to interfere. And we'll pray that at the end of the day, we will all be thankful to God that collectively we're able to play our beats. Can as a body, we don't carry a weapon. We don't fight. We pray. We trust God that things will work out well for us. Just like the Bible says that we should pray for Jerusalem, that it will be well with us. So we're praying for Nigeria. And we are hoping that with our prayers, the security agencies, they will top up their game. So intelligence gathering, work with even the communities. We have people in the communities that they can work with, all the communities. And as you know, we all know that there has been this wide call for state policing, we have community policing, to put all this together, because security is everybody's job, everybody's responsibility. So if we come together, we'll have the necessary information, give this information to the security agencies, the right authorities, notify them of any strange movement, anything that you think they need to know. That way we will be able to curb all these challenges.
Well, it's also a sigh of relief for all 38 worshippers abducted from the Christ Apostolic Church in Eruku, Kwara State, as they have now regained their freedom. And this was confirmed in a statement by the Chief Press Secretary to the Kwara State Governor, Rafiwa Jakaye, who says the captives were released today following days of coordinated efforts by security agencies and government officials. Meanwhile, Governor Abdulrahman Abdulrazak has commended the president for his hands-on involvement. The governor has also appreciated the Office of the National Security Advisor and other security agencies for deploying 4 new tactical teams to the state on the directive of the president. He's also thanked the community leaders, religious bodies and citizens for their support through that ordeal.
At the Government House Clinic, the freed victims are attended to by medical personnel, many appearing haggard and exhausted after their ordeal. With the provision of medication, water and food, those who are weak are moved into the hospital, where they recount their harrowing experiences endured in the hands of the bandits.
It was just a sudden act, suddenly, and a terrifying act. We really know that it was a dominated area by these people called bandits. Even they have the courage to tell themselves that we are bandits. And they make us know that there's no one that can just slip away without being caught. And with what we see, nobody can escape.
One of the church pastors expresses gratitude to both the federal and state governments for their efforts in securing the release of his members.
We are so glad to see our people back live, and we appreciate the governor of the state. We appreciate everybody for this great job. One of the authorities on the way coming, we thank God of Christ Apostolic Church.
Upon his arrival at the clinic, Governor Abdulrahman Abdulrazak speaks with several victims and personally assesses the condition of those receiving treatment. He stresses that while the release of 30 victims is welcome, the ordeal is far from over, as many captives remain in other states. The governor also thanks the president, Bola Tinubu, for his instrumental role in ensuring the safe release of the victims.
The government and people of Kwara State, we thank President Bola Tinubu for his hands-on approach to bringing them back home. And you can see he did not go to the G20 just to pay attention to this, and we can't say much until they're debriefed. And the security agencies, we thank them a lot. The director of DSS was directly in the field, leading from the front. Thank the National Security Advisor. All the agencies coordinated properly.
Authorities insist they will continue to intensify efforts to secure the remaining captives, while families and communities remain hopeful for their safe return, underscoring the ongoing commitment to public safety.
And on the heels of the wave of abductions and security threats across the country, President Bola Tinubu has ordered the immediate withdrawal of police officers providing security for very important persons in Nigeria. The president gave this order during a meeting with security chiefs, including the Chief of Army Staff, Lieutenant General Waidi Shoaibu, the Chief of Air Staff, Air Marshal Sunday Aneke, the Inspector General of Police, Kayode Egbetokun, and the Director General of the Department of State Services, Adiola Ajayi. According to the president, henceforth, VIPs who want police protection will now request well-armed personnel from the Nigeria Security and Civil Defense Corps. In a statement by the Special Advisor to the President on Information and Strategy, Bayo Ononuga, shortly after that meeting, boosting security presence and protecting Nigerians remain the president's priority, as he has now approved the recruitment of 30,000 additional police officers and is collaborating with states to boost police training facilities nationwide. The Bauchi State Police Command has confirmed that several officers were killed after suspected herders ambushed a patrol team on Saturday night in Papa Ward in Darazo local government area. The police spokesperson, Ahmed Wakili, told Channels Television that the officers came under heavy gunfire, leading to casualties on both sides. According to him, the Commissioner of Police has visited the scene for an on-the-spot assessment with full details to be released after investigation. In a separate incident the same night, suspected bandits attacked Saya village in Toro local government area, killing a 55-year-old Jibwish official, Alhaji Mahmudu Bakoshi, and abducting 3 others. Stop living in denial in addressing the ongoing violence, but seek help to tackle insecurity and kidnapping. Well, that's the advice coming from the Archbishop of Special Duties of the Methodist Church, Most Reverend Sunday Onoha, to the federal government. Delivering a Thanksgiving sermon at the Methodist Church Nigeria in Abuja, Most Reverend Sunday Onoha underscored the need for unity and peaceful coexistence in a highly diverse nation. Also speaking at that Thanksgiving service, the Speaker, House of Representatives, Honorable Benjamin Kalu, affirmed the need to seek help to tackle the nation's security challenges.
It's a service of thanksgiving for the installation of the Most Reverend Sunday Onoha as Archbishop on special duties, taking place at the Methodist Church Nigeria in Abuja. Marching in the colors, the service begins with processional hymns, ushering in the Archbishop on special duties. The ceremony has in attendance the Executive Secretary of the Nigerian Christian Pilgrim Commission, who represented the First Lady of Nigeria, Deputy Governor of Abia State, Deputy Speaker of the House of Representatives, Senators, among other dignitaries. In his sermon, the Archbishop on special duties of the Methodist Church underscores the need for unity and peaceful coexistence.
When you are going to enter into an aircraft, to say, hold on, let me find out if that pilot is Igbo man or Yoruba man. Let me find out if that pilot is a Muslim or a Christian before I enter. Has it ever happened? You just enter.
He also addressed growing security concerns across the country, particularly relating to the spike in kidnapping and killings.
We are perishing. We are dying. If somebody is pretending that it is well, all is not well. We can no longer be in denial. God will intervene. I am seeing the hand of God coming to rescue Nigeria.
Archbishop
Past government officials shared their thoughts on this subject matter.
When Jehoshaphat in Chronicles was in trouble and they needed help, what they did by the conviction of the Holy Spirit was to say, this day, the armies and the generals and the AK-47 and the bombers shall be behind. We shall appoint singers to lead the war front. Nigeria needs the singers.
The Executive Secretary of the Nigerian Christian Pilgrim Commission, who represented the First Lady of Nigeria, Senator Oluremi Tinubu, reacts to the recent attacks in the country, just as the Deputy Speaker calls for unity.
Nobody should live in denial. Just like every other nation, Nigeria needs help. But our help will come from God, who is the maker of heaven and earth. We need to embrace assistance. And we have a president that listens. We have a president that believes that the church is important.
The ceremony climaxes with the unveiling of the book, chronicling 28 years of distribution of study Bible in Methodist Church Nigeria, testimonies, reflection.
In part 2, after the break, Federal High Court in Abuja dismisses claim that Justice James Omoto survived an assassination attempt after sentencing IPOB leader Nnamdi Kanu. Please join us again. Welcome back. If you've just joined us, you're watching the news at 10 on Channels Television, broadcasting live from Lagos. A reminder of our main stories. 50 of over 300 abducted St. Mary's Catholic School children in Niger State escape captivity reunite with their families. 38 abducted Kwara church worshippers regain freedom. State government provides medical care and support following their release. Following rise in abductions and security threats, President Bola Tinubu orders immediate withdrawal of police officers assigned to VIP protection nationwide. And U.S. and Ukraine officials report a productive meeting as peace deal negotiations advance. The Federal High Court has dismissed claims by a blogger alleging that Honorable Justice James Omotosho of Abuja Federal High Court survived an assassination attempt following the life sentence handed to IPOB leader Nnamdi Kanu. In a statement, Chief Registrar Sulaiman Hassan described that report as completely false and unfounded. He asked the public to treat the publication as fake news and refrain from sharing it further to prevent misinformation from spreading. According to the statement, the false report has the potential of creating panic and undermining confidence in the judiciary. Authorities have been called upon to investigate thoroughly, identify the perpetrators, and prosecute them under Nigeria's laws on cybercrime, defamation, and public misinformation. Maternal mortality continues to pose one of Nigeria's most pressing health challenges. Postpartum hemorrhage, or PPH, remains the leading cause of maternal death, with most occurring within hours after childbirth. These issues took center stage during discussions by development partners, including the Center for Communication and Social Impact, CCSI, at the 66th Regular National Council on Health in Calabar, Cross River State. Our correspondent Kelly Agiga reports.
Ladies and gentlemen, may we rise.
The arrival of the Deputy Governor of Cross River State officially kicks off the 66th Regular National Council on Health meeting. A packed hall of council members, commissioners of health, permanent secretaries, delegates, development partners, and health leaders have gathered here to shape Nigeria's healthcare future.
His Excellency,
representing the host governor, the deputy governor declares the event open, affirming commitments to improving health services.
We remain resolute in our mission to ensure accessible, quality healthcare for all citizens, laying a solid foundation for improved healthcare outcome and progress towards universal healthcare coverage.
Following opening remarks and goodwill messages, the Minister of State for Health, Dr. Isaac Salako, delivers a welcome address.
Together, let us build a Nigeria where quality healthcare is not a privilege for the few, but a guaranteed right for all.
I also want to use this opportunity to applaud the success that are already being reported on our collective fights against maternal mortality in Nigeria. We'll all agree that a lot is being done and more needs to be done, and the effort needs to be sustained.
And then comes the keynote address from the chair of the NCH and Nigeria's Minister of Health, Professor Muhammad Ali Pate, urging state governors to strengthen health initiatives nationwide.
We're still far below where we need to be. Quality health is not cheap. You have to invest in it. So I urge each of the states, and Your Excellency, our message through you to all state governors, borrowing from my colleagues, the commissioners of health, we hope that in 2026, each state will see at least 1% increase in their health budget relative to what they had in 2025.
Development partners, including the Center for Communication and Social Impact, CCSI, praises the federal government's push for universal health coverage and highlights practical solutions for reducing maternal mortality.
CCSI has always been interested in building health systems, especially approaching that from a demand generation lens. The way forward to be able to reduce maternal mortality is to approach it from a holistic point of view, and holistic, which is also what government is doing, looking at it from the systems, looking at it also from getting citizens to actually have the correct information to be able to access the facilities.
Among solutions highlighted is the e-motive PPH bundle, a proven approach now being scaled to combat postpartum hemorrhage across Nigeria. From Calabar, the Cross River State capital, Kelly Egiga, Channels Television News.
Building on its success at the House of Lords in the United Kingdom, organizers of the Renewed Hope Global Summit made their latest stop in the United Arab Emirates. Supporters of President Bola Tinubu say that this platform has been established to showcase Nigeria's developmental progress under the president, while encouraging stronger global partnerships and promoting Nigeria's rebranding narrative. Our correspondent Mayowa Adegoke has more on the Dubai edition of the event, which held this weekend.
Efforts to support President Bola Ahmed Tinubu's administration, government officials joined the Renewed Hope Global Tour in Dubai to engage with investors and the Nigerian diaspora.
We have turned promises to policies, policies to progress and progress to prosperity. And that's the essence of going around the world.
In a series of presentations, speakers highlight positive developments to boost investor confidence in the nation's tax policies as well as security.
There's currently a project that is nearing completion that we call the National Single Window. So this will make export and import into Nigeria to be seamless. It will ensure that there is more transparency. It will ensure that there is less corruption and smuggling. We should then create a level playing field. Not just that government will make more money, it would also be that there will be more transparency for businesses.
There have been setbacks also by the military. They have sustained some setbacks. We can see recently, like some of them paying for their lives, like people like Brigadier Musa Umar Oba, who paid for his dear life. These are courageous soldiers. And sometimes also, some citizens are caught in between the fight. But the military, under Renewed Hope, are still fighting back.
Representing the president, his senior special advisor, Honorable Tunde Rahman, reinforces the government's proactive approach to curbing insecurity.
The Nigerian government is addressing the security issue, which is really unfortunate. But the government is not providing those kids in the country as Christians or Muslims. They are Nigerians, and that is important to the government.
Investors in attendance share their readiness to enter the Nigerian market. And to cement this, Dubai-based company Elite L&D Services signs an MOU with the Energy Commission of Nigeria to manufacture solar panels as well as provide power in remote areas.
They are already mobilizing $10 million to Nigeria to start this installation as a pilot, and they also made pledge that they will be going further to scale that up.
From Dubai, this summit is headed to South Africa as supporters of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu continue to engage international investors as well as boost the nation's image globally. From Dubai, the United Arab Emirates, Mayowa Adegoke for Channels Television News.
And back home, the Taraba state government says that it is taking proactive measures to recover ungoverned spaces used by hoodlums and to enhance the security of lives and property in the state. Governor Abu Kefas made this known at the personal parade of Taraba Marshal security guards at a grassroots security architecture to assist conventional security agencies in the fight against insecurity in Taraba state.
It's the passing out parade of the Taraba State Policing Outfit, also known as Taraba Marshal Security Guards, after 4 weeks of intensive training to complement the fight against insecurity alongside conventional security agencies. With 1,000 personnel drawn from across the state and trained, the Taraba Marshal Security Guards will support efforts of conventional security operatives in intelligence gathering, community engagement, and rapid response to emerging threats within the state's ungoverned spaces.
These gallant men and women have been sharpened physically and mentally to take on the noble responsibility of safeguarding lives and property across our communities. They have been equipped not only with practical knowledge, but with a deeper understanding of discipline, patriotism, loyalty to the state laws, and above all, unflinching commitment to the public safety of our communities. This ceremony is a celebration of their resilience, dedication, and readiness to serve. It is also a call to duty. As we know, the security challenges of our time demand vigilance, collaboration, and integrity.
Governor Abu Kefas explains that the state policing is part of renewed solution to addressing insecurity, as the state will no longer give room for lawlessness or criminality.
Taraba will no longer give room to illegal mining. Taraba will no longer give room to banditry or lawlessness, because Taraba Marshal is here. Protect our communities, secure our farmlands, defend our borders, support the police and military, stand at the first line of intelligence in every ward and every village. Today you have chosen a noble path, one that demands discipline, courage, and absolute integrity.
The state government is optimistic that with the establishment and training of the Taraba Marshal security guards, pockets of insecurity across the state will be addressed and absolute peace restored for development to thrive.
Still ahead on the news at 10, United States and Ukrainian officials report a productive meeting as peace deal negotiations advance. And that's on the foreign scene. Please join us again. Welcome back. You're still watching the news at 10 on Channels Television. Over 1,100 students from the Rome Business School, Nigeria, have celebrated their academic achievements at the school's 2025 graduation ceremony in Lagos. The founder and dean of Rome Business School, Professor Antonio Ragusa, says that he is confident that the new graduates of the prestigious school will have a positive impact on the society, helping to shape and contribute to the development of human capital in Nigeria.
Rome Business School Nigeria sets the stage in Lagos for its 2025 graduation ceremony. Bringing together thousands of graduates, proud parents, industry leaders and government dignitaries to witness yet another milestone in the education sector. The cheerful lineup and vibrant smiles of the graduating students add color to the day as they transition into the next chapter of their lives. The founder and dean of the Rome Business School, Professor Antonio Ragusa, encourages the newly graduated students to carry on as better managers and leaders committed to building a better world.
The next generation of leaders will rise from here. Innovation, creativity, and human talent will emerge from here. And this is why our guiding motto has always been, like you know very well, better managers for a better world. Because when managers improve, organizations improve. And when organizations improve, society progress. Now, ladies and gentlemen, congratulations to Dr. Babajide.
The governor of Lagos State, Mr. Babajide Sanwo-Olu, is awarded an honorary doctorate in what the school describes as recognition of his outstanding leadership and dedicated service to the development and well-being of Lagos State.
I stand here truly proud of what this award means to me, because what it means to me is that I have 3 vice chancellors that are seated here, and when I became the governor, I had only 1 university. Now I have 3 universities that are Lagos State University.
Awards are presented to the best graduating students and directors across each program for the year 2024.
So it's a great milestone for me, and I can only plan and pray that I keep preparing and forge ahead for future achievements.
I feel humbled, that in the midst of so
many other programs directors at the school, the prestigious Rome Business School, finds me worthy of this award.
Rome Business School Nigeria says it is looking beyond Lagos to expand its educational footprint across the country.
We're also thinking of developing the school with other campuses in other areas of Nigeria. We love it, and that's why we are here to make it grow and support in terms of education and training.
We have executive students who are, who are C-levels and mid-level executive students who are doing great things in their various organizations. So they come to Rome Business School because they want to disrupt the narrative.
Testimonies of all our students is that because they say they've been to Rome Business School, things do happen in their lives because we do things in a different way, in a unique way.
Founded in 2017 at the satellite campus of Rome Business School, Italy, Rome Business School Nigeria says it will continue to foster innovative learning experiences and global networking opportunities across the country.
With a surge in the disconnect among citizens globally over poor governance leading to Gen Z-led protests in parts of the world, some of the protest leaders and activists have assembled in Cape Town, South Africa, to design cross-border solidarity to protect democracy. Civil society partners brought together over 100 delegates from 4 continents for the South-South social movement convergence to brainstorm against authoritarian tendencies and anti-people policies across the global South. Our correspondent Jeffrey Uzongo, who was at the 3-day conference in Cape Town, now reports.
This drive towards the base of the Table Mountain in the mother city, Cape Town, is not just about exploring the breathtaking landscape. From the clear sky in the Woodstock area is where delegates from about 27 countries across 4 continents are sharing experiences at the South-South Social Movement Convergence, a Global South conference bringing together activists, scholars, social movement leaders, and others from Africa, Latin America, Asia, and the Middle East. The conference examines and aggregates protest, youth activism, social movements shaping democracy, and standing up to authoritarianism in democracies by creating opportunity and co-creating civic architecture for cross-border and transnational solidarity beyond just a single protest by young people that is being witnessed in recent times across the world.
All across the global South, Gen Zs are raising to be counted. They are moving all the actions and debates online to the streets, and the streets have now become an arena of political contention. And it's just simple. Now we're saying what the world needs now is a solidarity that is built on 3 principles. The first one is deference, that we have to defer to the leadership of people who are on the front lines to tell us what we need to do to stand with them in solidarity.
You see, we are looking at the future of democracy in the South-South, in the Global South. And if you look at all the countries and all the continents in the Global South, we have similar problems. We can no longer allow those who have destroyed democracy to be those who will reimagine democracy at our time.
The connected struggles to ensure democracy survives and serves our common interest is motivating these young persons at the front lines to use various forms to keep their voices on in defiance of repressive regimes and governments.
My work is to make the marginal group voice being heard and seen, which is usually the first group that the dictators want to get rid of.
I was one of the frontliners in Kenya for Occupy Parliament protest that's quickly translated to Ruto must go, and that is something we're still working on.
Panelists with a fair representation of young women, interestingly, and men share perspectives on sustaining the agitation for good governance and democracy.
What do you accept in terms of funding? Will you accept to be treated as a second-class citizen when you are the one doing all the work on the ground? Or will you take back your power and tell to people, I'm not accepting this funding?
There are organizations in this room that have tried to support rapid response. I know that in Zambia you have Action Aid, the executive director, country director is there. I know in Zimbabwe, Accountability Lab does a bit of that. And I know that in several other countries, you have such kind of organizations that are helping with rapid response. Let's just be proactive.
A solidarity pack, which is a model actionable plan document, is drafted by participants at the convergence to serve as a blueprint for activism and transnational solidarity.
The question for us and for this movement is what value Africa extracts from this global economy that is reliant on its resources. Are we able to link critical minerals value chain to the rest of the economy so we do not produce the problems of the past and move Africa towards its prosperity in our lifetime? That is the great question of the day, and the social movements that are organizing around resource futures have an opportunity to shape the direction of travel so that Africa can benefit from its resources.
The consensus by actors and participants at this year's South-South Social Movement Convergence is simple. You cannot do it alone. So there's a need to build bridges and solidarity across borders in order to keep these voices strong and resilient and not to be silenced by repressive and oppressive governments, whether it's in a democracy or an authoritarian government. From Cape Town, South Africa, Jeffrey Uzoma reporting for Channels Television News.
Well, let's come back home, and Christmas season has officially arrived for many as Zenith Bank kicks off its yearly celebrations with the Light Up 2025 ceremony. Revelers were thrilled by the fanfare, which included vibrant music, stunning fireworks and dance. The Group Managing Director, Adora Omnioji, led the events, joined by bank's top management and their partners.
It's here, the moment Lagosians await. The Zenith Bank Light Up 2025 is about to ignite. Guests are streaming onto the Eco Hotel roundabout Victoria Island. And tonight, we don't just witness a spectacle, we welcome the most magical time of the year. In just a moment, the entire stretch of Ajose Adogun will transform, not just into a display, but into a breathtaking Christmas metropolis. It's the official heartbeat of the Lagos festive season. Setting the tone for this evening, the Zenith Bank Choir lifts our spirit with special rendition. As we light up the streets and we light up the land, I'm gonna let it shine. Executive Director takes the stage. Our words chart the course of our 2-decade-long legacy.
So as we gradually approach the end of 2025, we pray that this Christmas season and all the happiness that it brings refreshes our spirits and reminds us that of the values of 1, gratitude, 2, compassion, and 3, unity.
And now, the moment that stops the city. And there goes the light, a million watts of Christmas joy erupting, fireworks painting the sky, music, dance, and excitement. The energy is palpable. For these revelers, the season has officially begun.
You know, this light up remind us that Christmas is in the air, and we are always happy to be here.
And trust Zenith not to disappoint.
Thank you, Zenith Bank. More to come.
If you are here, Christmas has started.
This year, Zenith Bank reminds us that we are called to celebrate our unity.
We are one people, we're a great nation, you know, and if you check, Nigerians here, we have a lot of talented people, you know, so we should be proud of that. Nigeria is a great nation.
So when your late night schedule takes you to Victoria Island, Zenith Bank says a visit to Ajose Adogun should top your festive bucket list.
We head to Rivers State now, where the government and the Nigerian Navy have reaffirmed their commitment to strengthening collaboration and boosting maritime security across the state. The renewed focus on partnership was highlighted during a courtesy visit by the Flag Officer commanding Eastern Naval Command, Rear Admiral Chidozie Okehie, and his team to Governor Siminalayi Fubara at the Government House in Port Harcourt, the state capital.
Commanding Naval Command, I consider a close collaboration with the River State government as key for strengthening maritime security and enhancing law enforcement coordination, and so we can ensure that we have a living environment for economic activities to thrive. Under the leadership of the current Chief of Naval Staff, sir, we pledge to sustain aggressive patrols, enhance our maritime domain awareness, and deepen joint operations. That's what CNSU so must synergize under a whole society approach to ensure that we maintain safety and security in the maritime environment.
You're coming on board, and this particular relationship that you have come to renew, we can assure you that it's going to spur us to do more in terms of collaboration for a success for both the Navy and also the state. You know, the major problem that we have here, which has to do with the issue of vandalization of our pipeline, and most of these issues are usually in the coastal line, where we have the lines run through the swamps. I can say here proudly that the Navy, in conjunction with other security agencies, have always responded very actively.
Lagos is becoming globally recognized for its end-of-year spectacular activities, and the makers of one of the world's renowned premium spirits brands, Martell, have now unveiled grand plans to make this year even better. Lagos elites gathered next to the 5 Carry Creek on Victoria Island, Lagos, to witness the unveiling of Martell on the Move.
Maison Martell has stood as a beacon of audacity and refinement. From the vineyards of Konya to the creative scenes and landmarks across Nigeria, Martell has always celebrated those who dare to move differently, seeing possibilities where others see limitations. Hence the launch of Martell on the Move, the latest expression of audacity, a campaign that transforms how Nigerians experience the brand, which combines bold craftsmanship, cultural expression, sustainability, and interactive engagement through 2 landmark experiences, the Swift Ascendant and the Martell Voyager.
Martell on the Move is another chapter in this journey that strengthens our position as a purpose-driven brand, and it's culturally relevant. The thing is, we've also incorporated sustainability principles into this project, and that's it's also a topic that is important to society today.
Here is like a different things. It's about motion, it's about movement, it's about evolution and movement across the city and across like the country. So that's why we have the Bird and the Swift Ascendant and also the Martell Voyager.
Thank you so much.
In a spectacular fashion, Martell on the Move was unveiled.
Ladies and gentlemen, I present to you the first of its kind, the Martell Swift Ascendant! Ladies and gentlemen, you're going to see this on the seaside, going to Lagos. Martell on the Move is finally here. Make some noise!
This sculpture was built out of rubbish that I turned to rubies. It was built out of discarded materials that probably pose a threat to the ecosystem. And I, as a recycler, I try to bring out beauty out of those trashes, and I brought wealth out of waste.
Every captured moment, every share, when people cite it, every sighting now becomes a shared moment across the online space where people can actually see and participate.
Lagos looks ready for another December extravaganza, and Martell is placing itself right in the forefront of this annual end-of-the-year showcase.
Let's delve into the world of sports now, where Lagos Legends are champions of the NBBF Nigeria Premier Basketball League after defeating Rivers Hoopers 74-72 in a thrilling Final Four showdown in Port Harcourt, the Rivers State capital, ending the Kingsmen's bid for a historic 3-peat. With the victory now, the Legends also earned the right to represent Nigeria at the prestigious Basketball Africa League in 2026. The Hoopers won the first quarter 2019. The second quarter was tied at 32-32, and Hoopers edged the third quarter at 20-17. The Lagos side outscored the Hoopers 25-22 in the final period to seal this dramatic win. Earlier, Boko City Chiefs beat Nigeria Customs 80-77. Nasarawa United have reclaimed top spots in the Nigeria Premier Football League after a 3-0 win against El Kanemi Warriors in Lafia. A brace from Anas Yusuf and Garba Mohammed handed the Solid Miners their 8th win of the season in 14 games and moved top with 24 points. Abia Warriors were held to a goalless draw by Bendel Insurance. Wiki Tourist and Bayelsa United played a 1-1 draw, while defending champions Rema Stars beat Barao FC 2-0 in Abeokuta, the Ogun State capital. And Rangers International edged Niger Tornadoes 1-0. Kenechukwu Ago got the only goal of the game in the 70th minute. And Warri Wolves and Khan Khalifat played a 1-1 draw. Arsenal midfielder Eberichi Eze showed Tottenham that what they missed out on with a brilliant hat-trick in a 4-1 North London derby demolition that bolstered the Premier League leaders' title charge in a Super Sunday clash at the Emirates. Mikel Arteta's side were too strong for timid Tottenham as Leonardo Trossard and Eze netted the first half at the Emirates Stadium. And Richarlison's incredible long-range goal reduced the deficit, but it was no consolation as Eze completed his superb treble to fire the Gunners 6 points clear at the top. And earlier, Morgan Rogers produced 2 excellent finishes to inspire an Aston Villa comeback to beat Leeds 2-1 at Elland Road on Sunday, a move into the Premier League's top 4. Italy claimed a third Davis Cup in as many years after beating Spain 2-0 in front of delighted home fans in Bologna. And Flavio Cobolli sparked loud celebrations by coming back from a set down to beat Tuan Munara 1-6, 7-6, 7-5 and ensure that Italy retained their title. Matteo Berrettini had earlier cruised to a 6-3, 6-4 win over Paolo Correno Busta, setting Filippo Volandri's team up for victory without the doubles match needing to be played. And away from sports, but outside our shores, U.S. President Donald Trump has accused Ukraine's leaders of showing no gratitude since U.S. efforts in the war with Russia. President Trump made the comments on his social media handle, Truth Social. It comes as the Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky today said that there is now an understanding that the U.S. proposed peace plan could take into account Ukraine's national interest. European leaders have criticized the 28-point plan, which is widely considered favorable to Russia. And that plan reflects Russia's key demands, that everything from Ukraine abandoning hard-defended land to a ban on joining NATO. President Trump had given Ukraine until Thursday to sign that deal. The death toll has gone up to 90 from recent heavy rainfall and resulting in floods and landslides in Vietnam. Authorities are still looking for 12 other people. They say that 186,000 homes have been damaged across the country, with more than 3 million livestock swept away. The cost of the damage is pegged at hundreds of millions of pounds. As of today, over 258,000 people are without power, and sections of major motorways and train tracks have been blocked. And the main news again. 50 of over 300 abducted St. Mary's Catholic school children in Niger State have escaped captivity and have been reunited with their families. 38 abducted Kwara church worshippers have also regained their freedom. President Bola Tinubu has ordered immediate withdrawal of police officers assigned to VIP protection on the backdrop of recent security concerns. And U.S. and Ukrainian officials are reporting a productive meeting as peace deal negotiations advance. That's the news at 10 tonight. Thank you so much for watching. I'm Anne Nwawado. Good night and have a fruitful week ahead.